Welcome to this quick video, guys. Today I discovered something very interesting which I'm going to share with you today. This is that there's basically three things which you have to do if you want to achieve your goal. First is actually know what your goal is. It should be quite simple. What I mean is it should be understandable. It's not very simple to find your true goal, to be honest, but that's a topic for another video. It's not just money or financial freedom. Path, so this is actually how you're going to get towards your goal. Once again, this is not easy to find, but it is easy to understand this. And finally, you have to take action. So obviously you want to go from A to B. You know you have to go to a certain path, let's call it C. You know you have to take action in order to get there. Now, what do you actually do on the journey? Because I'm sure that you have experienced that your journey doesn't look anything like this, but it is more likely to represent something like this. Or maybe even you seem to be going backwards, or you feel like things are just not going your way. You feel like you're not doing the right things. You feel like you're not on the right path. You feel like you're making progress and then not making progress and then making progress. And it's just a lot of chaos. So what do you actually do on this path? Well, what I've learned pretty much today is that you should only think about the general course of events when you are trying to achieve your goal. So what I mean, let's say that you are right now, for example, at 0, we're just going to call this 0, and you want to build a really successful consulting business. I'm going to make it a very generic goal just to drive the point home. The generic course of events, like the first thing which you probably would think of is to have some kind of offer, or to actually get clients, or to define, even before that, to define what you actually want to help people with. So this could be like your offer. That could be like a good one. So the point with this is that you should not get too bogged down into the details of the offer, but you should just know that the general course of events, so the general step is going to be create an offer. And then all you have to do next is don't think about the details, but just act on the current step. Okay, I'm going to explain some more examples shortly. So you don't want to think, just act on the next step. Because what happens when you start thinking, what is the perfect offer, like what are the details, how much should I offer, like what should I charge, and you start worrying about this, you're going to waste a lot of energy. And I actually tried out something today that kind of proved this point, which was to do with mountain biking, which is something I regularly do. This doesn't probably look like a mountain bike at all, but I'm sure you get the point. I basically mean probably know what it means, like this, okay? And what I noticed is whenever I was focused on my thoughts, or whenever I was thinking about something, I was actually going slower on the path, on the trail, than if I would just focus on the next step. So if I put all of my focus, I'm talking full concentration, full focus. If I put all of that on the next few meters, I noticed that I was cycling way faster. And this is not a surprise. This is because your energy in any moment is usually limited. Technically it's not limited, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to just say it's limited. And I was able to put all of my energy into the movement of cycling, and as a result I was able to go much faster when I just focused on this. So when I was focused on my thoughts, I was kind of sleepy and focused on my thoughts, I would go slower. But when I just focused on the current step, then I actually went faster. This is pretty fascinating. The next thing you have to realize is that when you act, you also don't want to think. The reason you don't want to do this is because usually when you think, you end up creating two things: importance and desire. Importance basically means this is important to me. It's important to it's important in the world, basically. So either it's important to you or it's important inside the world, and you perceive this to be. So for example, if you believe that your goal is important, then you are going to create an energetic imbalance. And I'm going to explain in a second what this means. I am yet to figure out exactly how this works, but I will. The second one is desire. So this is when you desire something, when you are needy of acquiring it. And these two things are harmful because they cost you a lot of energy, but also they are going to actually create the opposite effect of what you wanted. Because there's going to come an energetic imbalance. And what happens is when there's an imbalance, usually it has to be balanced out. It's the same as night and day, rain and sun. Like when it's usually extreme heat, it's followed by a period of extreme rain or thunder, especially in tropical climate countries. This is absolutely true. So know that this causes an energetic imbalance, and the balance has to be restored. And this is either done through destroying whatever you were thinking about, usually not the case, or it's done through getting you the opposite of what you wanted. So let's say your goal is to become happy, live a life of freedom and abundance. Then what you're going to get, if you put too much importance or desire on it, is you're actually going to become unhappy, you're going to live a life of constraint, and you're going to be trapped. That's how this works. I'm going to actually explain in a separate video how the energetic imbalance works, because I'm currently studying this. But just keep in mind that if you want to achieve your goal, the only thing you have to do is think about the general course of events. So let's say that you, for example, have to reach your house. This could be an extremely simple example. You start at point A and you have to reach your house. And you have an idea of like the general path. What you do is you just think about the general course of events. So for example, you see that the road is going here and you know that you have to go straight ahead. So what you do is you just focus on going straight ahead. You don't think, am I going the right way? Because you're obviously just going straight ahead. So just act on the next step. Just go moving forward. As soon as you have to make a decision, then you turn on your thoughts and you think, hey, what could be the next step? What could be the general next step? Is it going to be go left or go right? And for example, you could pick go left and then suddenly you notice that this was not the right step. And then you just go backwards to the other one. That's all of the kind of thinking you have to do. And then you just continue. So once you know that the right one is actually the right path, you just continue. You just act without thinking, and you act also without creating importance or desire. Because what happens, I can guarantee, if for example we take this, if you have to go left or right towards this house, if you put so much importance on making the right decision, I need to get home as fast as possible. I need to get home and choose the right direction, and I cannot make a mistake, and I need to reach it, and if I don't reach it, I feel like a failure. If you do this, I can guarantee that you will definitely going to go to the left direction. Whether you actually choose it or not, life is going to pretty much force you to go in this direction. So the best thing to do is to act without importance. Understand that your goals are not really that important. I mean, the Earth is like 5 billion years, I think, 4.5 billion years old. How many people are there? Probably also like 7 billion, or like 7 or 8 billion, 8 billion people. It's really not that important. And desire, that's just about being needy. It's kind of a similar thing, but desire is more about I don't have this and I need to have this, otherwise I will not be happy, for example. And it's kind of a bit of the same thing, but I hope you get the point. So understand that whenever you're going to pursue a goal, all you need to do is define the goal. It's not as easy as you think, but I'll probably make some videos about this. Define the path, how you're going to get it. Is it through consulting? Is it through something else? And action. And then how you take action is just thinking about the general course of events, taking action on the current step and make it general as well. So for example, offer is all you need. Just do that. Don't try and get to the details. Don't think and just act on the next step. I actually tried to do this with this video if you're curious. I tried to map out the first things that came to mind, and I just start the video. And act without importance and desire. That's all you need to do, because otherwise you're going to create an energetic imbalance and life is forced to bring it to balance somehow by either destroying what you wanted or creating the opposite of what you want. So I hope that makes sense. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. See you in the next one.